Good evening, everyone. Back here with you again. I thought, you know, I did this teeny martini bar. It was on Thursday. Today is Friday. This is Friday evening around 10. Let me look at the clock. 10:13 in the p.m. What a difference a day makes. Underwater yesterday. Very much in business today. I guess those guys in Florida know how to clean up after a hurricane or whatever, a storm, I should say, I guess. And looks like they're doing a booming business. Yeah. Like I said, you can see now the street, the sidewalk, and everything is, just as I said it was earlier in the video when I did the airport stuff. I thought I would just come back and show you the difference that it made. I'm going to add this to a video that I'm making on the 3D printer. Going to have show you what I have been doing in there with the camera on the. I bought a new camera for that. I'll show you that as well. But I wanted to do some more Mossluck channel stuff, and this is what it is. But like I said, I just kind of wanted to stop by here and just show you that how quickly things turn around. And I'm glad. I mean, I'm happy they didn't have any, serious damage there. So, there you go. I just thought I would bring that, put this in the video and let you know everything's okay. They're drinking again in Florida. All right. While we're at it, might as well show you Midway also in Chicago. This is a nice view here, actually, at night. You guys didn't see it, but a plane just took off, and it was really kind of neat at night with the lights. Now, it's only 9-something in Chicago. I think 9:17 is what it said. So it's not quite totally dark, but, pretty darn close. It looks like there's a plane over there taxiing. I don't know if they're getting ready to take off or what, but anyway, like I said, I just thought we'd stop by here as well. You saw the Teeny Martini bar and how well they have recovered. Of course, something going. Oh, there it is. Coming in, I guess. Yeah, it's neat at night. Like I said, it's pretty neat. But anyway, like I said, they're not really recovering up here. But again, it was just kind of neat to see the airport at night all lit up, and they're definitely lit up. So, all right, that's it. I'm going back to the printer now, and we're gonna take a look at the camera situation there and show you what I have been doing in there. So, stay tuned for that. Good day, YouTube. Here with you at the 3D printer today, working on a project. As you can see, that is my attempt at a camera holder for this. I bought that new, you can see it right here. That's the new camera that I bought. I'll get a little closer. But I made the actual design was okay. It's just the flimsiness of the small rods I used for it did not work very well. But it's exactly where I wanted it at. So that part worked out. And it did work really good for watching the printer, That was the last thing I printed. Now that's the part of the new one that will go on. And if we move this down, it's going to attach here. It slides over that, and then we'll come back this way, like this, and then go up. Basically ending up the same basic position. Of course, it'll be right in the middle, but I mean, that's even better. So, that's what I'm going to do. So, let me get the tools and stuff I need to do, and we'll see what we can do about putting that together. And I've got the rest of the pieces on the bench over there. And we'll get it all together and see what she looks like. Join me for that. Alright, we are over at the bench. as you can clearly see, I do believe. This is the piece that was on the printer when we looked at it. This is our camera mount. Basically, that one piece on the camera slides down into that, and that back piece comes up and catches back here to hold the camera in place. It's not a really secure, but it's still, it works just fine for our purposes. This is the piece that goes down on that, slides down on that piece I showed you on the back of the frame there. That fits in there. Now this didn't print out so good, but it printed good enough for me because that's all I need is you know, something to hold that. This end here, as I said, goes on here. Now I printed another piece that will fit. As you can see the angle there, I've got set to that, and that will go like that and make the end go up, and then from there, this piece here fits on that like this, and this is adjustable up and down so that I can raise the height of the platform if I need to. So that's how we're going to do it, and I just wanted to show you how I was going to put it together. I've got a hole all the way through there, but I'm going to drill it out with the drill, make it a little bit bigger on this one here because this one's not as big as these. And I've got to find some screws to put in there. But other than that, that's basically how that goes. The angle that it's there, it should hold it in place just fine with the screw in it. So I think that should work just fine. So this is not one of my best designs on the printer, but I wanted something kind of fast and easy. I haven't peeled all the excess stuff off, but I wanted something fast, and this is what I came up with. So like I said, much better than the flimsy device that you saw on the printer. So let me get this put together and we'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. Alright, well there you have it. There is the whole bracket made up. You can see I go on screw there. I don't have a nut on it because number one, I couldn't find one, but for another thing, that's good and tight in there. It's bit into the plastic really good. This one does have a nut on it. I had to drill it out quite a bit to get one that was long enough to do that. Of course, there's your other end, and like I said, that's what the whole thing looks like all together. I don't have, I just did one for now. I wanted to see, I think that's going to be about the same height it was, and it seemed to be pretty good there. So if I need to adjust it, I can drill more holes here if I need to, and that should work. So there you go. Let me put it in place, and we'll see how it looks and performs. Alright, well there we see the camera now in place. You can see there, I'll look at this side, how it sits in there. It basically just fits slot into that slot, and then that back part comes up, and there's a little spring on that. It kind of holds it tight. It's not greatly tight, but I mean it's not too bad. It'll work just like it is. So, but that's how it's going to be. Now I don't think this will have any problem going back as far as it needs to go back. Now you can see that's as far as it goes right there. So no problem there. That works well. I'm going to see what it looks like on the video. I think I've got it pointed just about right here. It should show this ender pretty good. Now what you want basically, let's see. What you want basically is the when this comes down and stays along this path here, that's where it's going to be, all your action is right in here. Actually right in here, we'll say. So that's basically where you want the camera pointed at. You want to watch it print. Obviously it will move back and forth a little bit because if the print's bigger than the field of vision, it's going to do that. But that's why I've got it back a little further than it was. So I'm hoping that will bring in just about all I want to bring in. So let me load up a print, and we'll see how well it captures. So stand by and we'll check that out. Alright, well I think you can hear me, I hope. As you can see, I believe that's about as good as you can get it. That shows the whole picture. Now I don't know how far up it's going to go once it goes up. Now I could probably put the oh, my dryer just quit. Um, I probably could put the camera up a little bit. Now it does adjust side to side, goes around on a pivot, so it can be adjusted up and down a little bit as well. So uh, it depends on how big the print is. I mean, that's really the whole thing. Right now, it's fine, but I'm printing out a BDSI case, and what it will be probably 2.5, 3 inches long. I think about 3 inches long, maybe 4, tall. So I doubt that we'll get to see the whole thing as far as the top of it. But again, it can be adjusted up if I need to. So I can do that. But for right now, I just wanted to make sure it was working, and it does seem to be working. Now this camera is not the best. It was a cheap camera on eBay. Obviously, the resolution's not great, but it does show what's going on, and that's what you want on a camera like this. You just want basically to see, check, make sure it's printing, make sure that you don't see a bunch of filament all spooled around on top of the board there, because that's happened quite a bit. When that happens, it loses its connectivity to the surface, and whatever it is you're printing has slipped off of its base and basically gone on to do something else, on its own. So, but like I say, this one's working so far. And what I generally do if they have a problem with them over and over again like that, what I do is put what they call a brim on the bottom, and that little outline that you see on there, it goes all the way over to the actual print, and that holds it onto the surface a lot better. Also, I clean the surface with Simple Green basically every time I use the printer. Now I don't usually, if I'm using it several times a day, I use it, or clean it in the morning, and then it's fine the rest of the day. But that puts a little bit of a sticky surface on it. It doesn't, it's not overly sticky, but it cleans any dust off and things like that. That's another thing that will make it not stick. So, like I said, it does appear to be working, and I'm happy about that. And it seems to be pretty steady. I think when I was watching the beginning of it, when the bed moves back and forth, the surface there, it did move around a little bit, but I think it's found its spot now to where it's happy with it, and it seems to be staying there. So I think that's a pretty good picture, actually. I really do. And like I say, that's going to do me on this one. So I'm going to let that print a while, and just to show you what it does. And I'll try to probably cut the sound off, because I've got to get my laundry out of the dryer and get ready. I'm supposed to have a dinner, supper, whatever you want to call it, this evening at my daughter's house. She has to go back in, and I think I mentioned that in my other video on Friday. It was the 1st, but it's actually the 8th now. They've moved it up to the 8th because I think the anesthesiologist could not be there on the 1st. So still should get her back home in time for Christmas. That's the thing she was worried about. And, so they're still planning on a week stay. I think the hospital didn't say it long, but they've been through this before, so they're thinking probably a week. So a week would get her to basically the 15th, and get her back home. Of course, now she probably won't feel as well as she would have if she had an extra week to recuperate, but at the same time, at least we can get her for Christmas. It'll be good. So, all right, I'm going to say I'll just print or record a while and just see what it looks like on the when I take it off. So we'll come back and talk to you later about it. So, all right, enjoy.